What's going on, guys? It's me, Zach Steele, bringing you guys another video. Where I just touched on a couple of players I feel that are currently undervalued at their positions. I was going to do a video for quarterbacks and tight ends separately, but I kind of, after doing the research, figured that there weren't really enough players at each of their positions that it warranted making a whole video on each one. So I decided I'd merge them into one video. So I guess we'll just get started. So first, I've got Justin Herbert. He's currently being drafted as quarterback 7. On average, but he finished as quarterback 9 last season as a rookie, and he was quarterback 5 after week 4. So he's clearly capable of outperforming that quarterback 7 ranking. In addition to that, he's going to have a healthy Austin Eckler this season, hopefully. And that offensive line should be a lot better. They really went out and addressed that in the draft this year. So he should have more time to throw, and he's really proven to be a really elite quarterback even under pressure. So I can't imagine how well he'll perform when he's got time to throw. And then I also expect the coaching to improve. I know it's sometimes bold to say that bringing in a new coach is going to necessarily mean improvement, but Anthony Lynn was far from stellar, and I don't think there's a lot of room to go down in that regard. So I do think that the Chargers offense as a whole will improve, and I think Justin Herbert's going to be the main driver for that. And I do think Herbert's going to have a really great season, and I think that he's a guy that could easily finish the top 4 quarterback, and he showed it last season. There's no reason to be drafting at quarterback 7. I'd much rather have him than guys like Dak Prescott, who's coming off an injury, or Lamar Jackson, who struggled last season. Yeah. So the next guy I've got here is Jalen Hurts. He's currently being drafted as quarterback 10. And I know it was a small sample size, but in the 3 weeks he was a full-time starter last season, that being weeks 14 to 16, he finished the quarterback 3 overall. And that was really in large part due to the fact that he had 60-plus rushing yards in all 3 of those weeks. Obviously, as you guys know, a rushing production from the quarterback position gives you a really strong floor. I think that's something that you really want out of your quarterback. It seems more and more like each season, it's harder and harder to get by with a quarterback in fantasy that doesn't run the ball, because then you do leave yourself vulnerable to a game where he maybe only has 1 passing touchdown or 0, and then you're getting next to a dud out of your quarterback position because his passing yards don't really add up too much. And it's hard to win on a week-to-week basis if your quarterback puts duds in there every now and then. So I think getting a quarterback with rushing upside is really important. And I do think Jalen Hurts offers that. And at being drafted at quarterback 10, it's just a bargain to me. And on top of that, I think he's going to have a lot better performance at the wide receiver position. And they went out and drafted his old teammate in Alabama in Devonta Smith. And I do think Jalen Reagor is going to have bounce back season after being banged up this rookie year. And I expect Dallas Goedert to take a big leap forward. We've seen how talented he is, and I do think he's going to act as the tight end 1 there. Who knows what's going to happen with Zach Ertz, but I don't think it really matters there. And then a healthy Miles Sanders, hopefully you get the whole season, and hopefully that really lets that offense open up. I think a lot of people are sort of sleeping on that offense as a whole. And I mean, I'm not drafting necessarily any of those receivers in fantasy, but I do feel like that's an offense that's going to be able to put up some points. So yeah, I do think Jalen Hurts has top 5 QB upside, and I think his floor is pretty much where he's being drafted just because of the rushing floor he's going to give you. So he's a guy that, especially if you're waiting on quarterback, I'd love to get Jalen Hurts late in drafts, because he can certainly hold his own week to week, and I think he's really got that upside to be a league winner. So getting into the tight ends, the first tight end I'll touch on is Mike Gesicki. He's being drafted as the tight end 10 right now, but he finished as the tight end 4 after week 10 last season. I do expect the Dolphins offense to improve this year in comparison to last year. I think they'll have better play out of the quarterback position. I understand that Tua didn't necessarily light it up, but I do think that he's not bad by any means, and I do expect him to have a better sophomore year than he did his rookie season. And on top of that, there's going to be a lot more weapons to that offense. They went out and got Will Fuller. They also added Jalen Waddle in the draft. So I think that this offense is going to have a lot more options in the passing game. I think that's going to really open up Mike Gesicki, because last season the defenses could really focus in on him and Devontae Parker. And I think Gesicki is really a guy that he's going to be a really big red zone threat for them, and he can actually do quite a bit after the catch. So I think he's going to have a nice floor. And I think that really, if you look at it, once you miss out on those top 5 tight ends and Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, Andrews, and Hawkinson, you're sort of just throwing darts. I know Kyle Pitts could be incredible, but he's a rookie, and we all know how rookies perform at the tight end possession in the NFL. So I think that once you miss out on those top 5, you might as well wait a little bit longer. And I think the next best chance you have to get a top 5 tight end is Mike Gesicki at tight end 10. Then last tight end I'll talk about here is Tyler Higbee. He actually squeaked onto this list due to the K. Akers injury today, but he's currently being drafted as tight end 16. And I do expect the quarterback play in LA to improve quite a bit. I don't necessarily think that Stafford is elite by any means, but I do think he's a very real upgrade over Jared Goff. He's not a liability by any means. I do think Jared Goff almost is a liability for the offense. And Matthew Stafford showed last year, as he showed before, that he's very capable of supporting top tier tight end in fantasy. TJ Hawkinson had a great season for the Lions last season. I think that there's no reason he can't carry that over to LA. LA lost Gerald Everett in free agency this season as he went to Seattle. So I think that's going to open up even more opportunities for Higbee in the passing game. Don't forget, just last season, I wasn't necessarily on that train, but a lot of people really thought Higbee had a chance to be a top 5 tight end because he closed the 2019 season so great. And he showed flashes last season. He had a 3 touchdown game. He's clearly a talented tight end. I think he's a guy that, again, getting at tight end 16 is such a steal given the upside there. I think he's in line to be the number 3 option in that offense behind Kupp and Woods. But that offense is going to be potent enough that you can certainly get a lot of volume as the 3rd option there. And I think he's a guy that could really have a quality season. And I'd have no problem drafting him super late and playing him at that in position week 1. So that'll be it for this video. It was a pretty quick one. After this, I'm going to start going through and doing some mock drafts. I'll try and do a draft from each position 1 through 12, and then sort of show you guys my thought process going through that draft, so you guys can sort of see how I approach drafting, and then you can kind of bring that into your own drafts. And then once I get through that stuff, I'll get into auction. I've really recently started getting into the auction the last couple of years, and I really enjoyed it. I really do encourage you guys to go participate in an auction draft at some point if you can this year. It's really fun. It almost makes normal drafts seem boring. Not that drafting can be boring, but yeah. And then I'll say this again. I've been saying it. I haven't gotten too much feedback yet. I know it's kind of slow so far, and not many people are thinking about fantasy like I am yet. But there was interest last season in there potentially being a subscriber fantasy league with me and Tyler, and then 10 subscribers. So once we get some response in the comments saying that's something that people will be interested in, I'll start doing a trivia question at the beginning of each video, and the first person to comment with the correct answer will be enrolled in that league. You'll just have to provide your email to me, and then once I get 10 more people, we'll fill up a league, we'll have a draft, and it'll be something we can sort of track during the season. It'll be fun to see if any of you guys can beat Tyler or I. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot to me that you guys take the time out of your day to watch videos of mine. It's super cool. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's linked. It's shown right there at RealSteelFFB. I'll link it in the description as well. I'll start being more active on there as the season rolls up. But again, thank you guys for watching, and please be sure to like and subscribe if you can. Thank you. Bye.